beautiful / kidding, cold, lonely, upsetting. I'm kidding. Monday afternoon from the studios of WHPC in Greater Garden City, majestic and beautiful Garden City, streaming to you live from the iHeartRadio app and nccradio.org and live and local on 90.3 FM. This is WHPC Sports Talk, and I'm your host, Nick Ohrnberger, joined alongside me, Eric Fischetti.
Hey.
How's it going?
Woo! Wonderful. How are you?
Oh, boy, it's so good to have you.
Right?
I'm literally having you right now. Dan Morales.
How are you?
Hi.
Hello.
Yes, how are you? And Ross Levine. Ross, people can't hear hand gestures.
You can't
Ross.
see you, Ross. Ross, you have a perfect face for radio. I gotta tell you that.
Thank you.
That was very
Hey,
nice
Ross,
of you.
did you know I could speak Braille?
No, I really didn't know.
You want me to speak Braille?
Stop.
Okay.
Stop.
... line ...
Nice.
All right.
really
I
long
think.
line.
I think. You know what? Our entire Braille reading audience is totally offended. Thank you, Eric Fischetti. So we got a lot to get to today. But listen, we have a new format for today's show. Kind of a wing, a shot in the dark, right, Eric?
Yeah, kind of like a little bit. But you know what, Nick? You run such a great show.
Nonsense.
I have all the faith of you.
I have of me.
Of you.
Oh,
In you.
He has all the faith in him.
Well, he's in me. You heard that? Now,
Pause.
Oh my God.
Pause.
Please stop forever.
I will try. But I can't stop forever. I got to stop for now because we do have to get into some stuff. So from now on, here's what we're going to try. We're going to try and do our top stories. Let's get one or two top stories, and I wanted to do one national and one local. So, since we have the man, the myth, the legend in the studio with us,
You know who it is.
we will talk to him right now. Dan, what's our big national headline going on today, brother?
All right. So our first big national headline, and our only national headline today, Jeanie Buss refers to rumors of Anthony Davis trade discussions as fake news.
Fake news.
Buss holds a press conference calling media and papers irresponsible for multiple collaborating reports that LA held discussions with New Orleans for the star forward.
Right now, so you're okay. So essentially, she was calling out the media for this.
Yeah, he's calling out the media for this.
Geez, Louise. All right, so let's take.
Wait, I'm sorry. Jeanie Buss is calling out the media.
Yeah, he's calling out the media.
She is.
Yes.
She's calling out the media. I guess for this.
Let's hear what you have to say.
All right, let's hear what she's got. All right, hold on.
There was a lot of hype and things written about a potential trade leading into the trade deadline.
Not wrong.
Obviously.
And all of it false. But it got a lot of coverage. And, there's damage that's done to team chemistry when players have to read about all this. That is, to me, it's irresponsible and frustrating.
Okay, go ahead.
So Buss claimed that the friction in team chemistry is due to what players hear in the media. She affirms the idea that LeBron James is not the culprit of Lakers' lack of team play and camaraderie.
Okay, so let me. Yeah, you got.
So does this claim that excuse LeBron James on and off the court shots towards his teammates? Both directly and indirectly. If it's true. Or is Jeanie Buss just saving space for the Lakers until they inevitably receive a facelift in the offseason?
I might be saying something like not like out of line, but a little crazy. Are the Lakers getting more publicity that they ever before, even when they had Kobe Bryant?
You mean now that they're losing a lot?
Yeah, now that they're losing a lot with the greatest player of all time, arguably.
I guess so, but. I don't know. I mean, Ross, you're raising your hand to answer. Let me ask you a question. Do you think that this is her just saving face, or do you think this is more? Because I'm kind of back and forth with how I feel about this. I really am.
I think she's just saying that because she knows that's probably not going to happen anyway. That they may not get Anthony Davis, and I think she's just as sad because they're losing with ultimately the best player of all time.
Well, right, but and being sad about it is one thing. Calling out the media and calling them liars. I mean, that let's call a spade here. She's calling the media and the people who wrote corroborated with each other that this happened. That's how this works. You get a second source and you say, all right, we're all coming out with this together. Mm-hmm. It's not just ESPN or NBA.com or all those people. They're all saying the same thing. These talks happened.
I have to be honest with you, Nick. We can't just get on Jeanie Buss for that because that happens all the time.
Right. Well, yeah.
LeBron did it. Kevin Durant did it. Carmelo Anthony did it.
But how many owners have done it? I mean, this is
Would you count James Dolan?
Well, what reports are you talking that he refuted?
Well, not refuted, but basically, the media has a tough job in general. And
right, of course.
I would say that maybe we have, it's bunch of technicality. Right. We're kind of the media. It's basically it's basically like someone coming after us and saying, "No, you're wrong. Like, I can't get that out of my head when Oklahoma City wrote something nasty about Kevin Durant, and he refuted. But you're right. I don't know that many owners that basically came out and called the media liars, other than Jeanie Buss.
Right.
Now, the Lakers are under a lot of spotlight right now. They have the greatest player of all time, arguably, of course.
LeBron James.
Maybe the greatest player in today's game, honestly.
LeBron James.
Thank you, Dan.
Yes, thank you, Dan. We're very happy that you can bring in quality content.
LeBron James.
But honestly, I think the Lakers are in a very, very tough spot because, there is news that's coming out that Luke Walton's job is in jeopardy. Would you give all the blame to Luke Walton right now? The Lakers are currently out of a playoff spot. They're on the outside looking in. They're falling fast.
I think the coaching has something to do with it because as a coach, still need to corral your younger players to play the game. This is the NBA. This is their job. They need to take this seriously. I don't feel like the Lakers' young core has melted together yet to the maturity level which they need to be. Like Lonzo Ball. I think Kyle Kuzma's almost there. Brandon Ingram needs to do a little better. Jason Hart needs to do a little better. They need to do
Josh Hart, my fault.
Okay. Josh Hart needs to do a little better. I think that's all the coach's fault. I don't think they can put that on LeBron. LeBron's also a player. Yes, he wants to own a team later on in the future, but he's still a player right now. He's trying to help them, but still the coach's game plan, the coach's plan to help these players get to their best spots and help them to do what they need to do.
How hard do you think it is for a coach like Luke Walton? You can even go back to Ty Lue.
Yep.
How hard do you think it is to coach an ego, and he is an ego,
Absolutely.
like LeBron James?
It's probably very hard to coach an ego like LeBron James.
He plays coach.
Yeah,
of course he does.
Yeah, he does.
He did it with the Heat also.
Yeah.
Honestly, I mean, it's
did it
very hard.
Did it more so with the Cavaliers, though?
No, 100%, because he was the Cavaliers. But the only thing is, he didn't do it as much with the Heat because obviously his best buddy Dwayne Wade was on the team with them. Chris Bosh was with them as well. He wasn't alone. On the Lakers, it seems like he's alone. And with that, and honestly, if they get Anthony Davis, which I might be crazy, Ross. I think it's a foregone conclusion that Anthony Davis is going there via trade or free agency at some point. But you think he'll do that when Anthony Davis is there? I think so, honestly.
Maybe, but I mean, back to the question at hand, and this is the main question I keep coming back to. Does this excuse all the pointed shots, whether directly or indirectly, from LeBron James? And I'm talking like you don't have to necessarily say, hey, this guy needs to do this better. It's been little tiny shots, little jabs here and there, talking about team defense occasionally, talking about different things. And LeBron James has been at the center of all of it. It just feels like every time LeBron James opens his mouth lately, it seems like a jab at his teammates. Do you remember that game he sat like 4 chairs at the trade deadline? This was at the trade deadline.
Yeah, he was playing GM.
That's right. Sitting 4 chairs down from his teammates.
He was hurt, right?
Yeah, but
hurt.
It was at the trade deadline. Everybody's looking at him and being like, wow, is he really doing this right now? Separating himself visibly from them? Or did he really not know?
Well, it seemed like Laker fans had a very bad taste in their mouth as soon as he signed, honestly.
Right.
People were telling him, you're not Kobe Bryant, you're not going to be received well, which to me is ridiculous because you got the best player in the world on your team.
Right.
And you
LeBron
have a better
James.
chance. You have a better chance of winning something. I don't think they're going to win an NBA title anytime soon with LeBron. But that's a different story. You got the best player in the world on your team right now, and you're receiving him terribly. That's like if the Knicks picked Michael Jordan over Patrick Ewing. Well, after Patrick Ewing, not picked, but basically got Michael Jordan after Patrick Ewing. That was kind of like clunky, but you know what I mean.
Right. I got you.
It's basically like, that's basically what it's like, going from one great player to another great player and them not being perceived as well. It's kind of funny to me.
I was just going to say, when I see LeBron, though, this sounds a little weird, even though he's calling out his teammates. I see him also himself having, a lack of effort. They all have, a lack of effort. There was a time in a game where they were just getting a lot of dunks off the Lakers, and I saw, not even try to block them or jump.
What game was this?
It was against Phoenix.
It was against Phoenix. That was
when they
over the
lost.
weekend. Oh, my gosh.
Yeah,
I'm glad you brought that up because you're right. Halfway through that game, it looked like LeBron himself gave up. And you know what? I get it. He's not 100%, quotation marks. We always have to do it because who the hell really knows if he's telling the truth when he's hurt or not hurt? Is he saving himself for the playoffs? Right now is not the time to save yourself for anything. Right now, you're not getting into the playoffs, bro.
Word.
So let's kind of turn this around, like maybe take it a little seriously. But that's our big national headline. What do we got for locals, Dan?
So for our local headline today, we have the Islanders fall out of first place with a loss to the Flyers yesterday by a score of 4-1. The Flyers had no Voracek. Flyers play with 11 forwards and 7 defensemen. I don't know how to say his name.
Jason Voracek doesn't play. They play 18.
Jacob Voracek.
Yes.
Voracek.
You got it. Don't worry.
Okay. You got it. It's very hard. Don't worry.
It's hockey. Let's do that hockey.
Let's do that hockey, Chance.
The best scorer had like 30 letters in his name, none of them vowels.
Don't know how to say his name. All right, so that's an S, a K, and a J all right next to each other, so that's a nope.
Anyway.
It's funny when you get it.
I'm glad you brought that up. 11 forwards, 7 defensemen. This was a team effort there, Eric.
Listen, these are professional athletes going up against other professional athletes. That was a trap game, if anything.
Yeah.
Because the Islanders have been struggling as of lately. Yes, you get the Flyers, who have been on a tear as of recently.
Yep.
Not as much as the Hurricanes, who I think are 21-6 since
they are.
Since December.
It's been stupid what the Canes have been doing.
Watch out for them. But yeah, the Flyers, they came in and absolutely manhandled the Islanders. Robin Leonard was not Robin Leonard. Thomas Greiss had to come in and relieve them. And rightfully so, they fell out of first place. They're not a good hockey team right now, but they can bounce back.
Elliott absolutely played brilliant with 29 saved shots. My fault. Robin Leonard crazy. Pulled early by Trotz in lieu of Greiss. Gudas scores the 100th NHL point with Mayfield goal.
Yep.
Clutterbuck sustained upper body injury, missing the third period, and Trotz did not detail later.
Interesting, because that's going to be huge.
He got hit in the face, and Martin's out.
Martin's out too. Yep.
So that's emotional right there.
Yeah, the loss Cooper with the Islanders lost directly with the Capitals on Friday, and the Caps' victory over the Rangers. Yesterday, the Islanders dropped second behind the Washington in the Metro. Should the game give Isles fan pause that maybe New York's championship was played against the Leafs last Thursday?
No, I don't think that was the season right there. I still think the Islanders are a good team, but this is gonna, come to the Islander fan defense that thinks that they should have went after somebody at the trade deadline. This is the "see, I told you so" moment.
Yeah, I think so too.
They should have went after a Duchesne. They should have went after a Panarin. Now, I was very on the fence about, if they should have went for somebody, if they shouldn't. Because, Eleanor convinced me. She's like, you got to hold on to your prospects. I know prospect hugging isn't really a good thing for the future, but the Islanders are in a spot that no one in this room predicted. They were in first place for the majority of the season. Now they're in second. That's still better than anybody has ever thought. Now, Anders Lee, the captain, the true captain. You can't spell Islanders without Anders. But
wait a minute, is that true?
You can't spell Islanders without Anders.
Yeah, you can't. Wow.
Right?
That's another one of those Eli idioms. I say that because they're idiotic. Go ahead.
Shut up, man. But yeah, so you can't spell Islanders without Anders. But Anders Lee came out and said, when Lamoriello didn't go after anybody at the trade deadline, it was almost like a compliment because he trusted them, he believes in them, he believes that this team could go far, which they very well could, because when you're in the playoffs, it's a much different animal, but it's going to be harder now because the Capitals got better. The Blue Jackets got better. The Maple Leafs are still outstanding. The Penguins you can never count out. The Hurricanes are on a tear. Everybody around them is getting better. So it's going to be a tough hill to climb if you're the Islanders.
Yeah, it's definitely going to be interesting moving forward. I think Leonard last night is interesting. I thought it was a little early to pull him out of that game, but
I'm not. He didn't look right.
He didn't look good at all.
I don't know. I just feel like when you got a guy who's given you as much as he has, you kind of let him roll. But that's just me. I understand why they pulled him. Greiss did fine when he came in for the most part.
Yeah, Greiss did fine. I think he only let up a goal.
Yeah, it was 3. What was it? 3-1. When
it was 3-0 when Leonard
left. That's right.
And then Pellick of all people got the first goal.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, I was going to say, even if the Islanders were a first place team out of the Metro going to the playoffs, do you think it would make that much of a difference that they would go far anyway? Probably not.
Well, listen, Ross, you brought up this, and I'm going to call it an argument for lack of a better term. Would you rather have one superstar with individual talent and no one else working around them, or a team game? And right now, yeah, and I agree with you. The Islanders are playing a team game right now, but every team goes through a slump. That's the thing that I'm trying to say. Now, this slump is coming at the absolute worst time because it's like almost all that emotion, almost all that buildup was February 28th against the Maple Leafs. So now it's like, all right, we're going to get them. We're going to show them. We're going to show the world the Islanders mean business. We're going to show all of them that we don't need Tavares, which, can turn out to be true. But now it's like, all right, we won. Now what? It's like it almost got left out there. So they have to regain all that emotion, which the fans can do, because when you win, fans show up, whether it's Brooklyn or Long Island, when they get to that point. Brooklyn meaning the second round of the playoffs, if they get there, which they very well could. But it's going to be harder now because technically now they're at a huge disadvantage. The Columbus Blue Jackets got basically the whole Ottawa Senators roster, and that's why I keep making that joke that they're the AHL affiliate, because they got everybody.
Yeah, but they've been bad, though, lately.
What?
The Blue Jackets have been bad, really bad lately.
Who did the Blue Jackets lose to?
They lost
the Jets.
The Jets over the weekend. You're talking about?
4-0.
Edmonton.
And Edmonton is such a terrible team right now.
Yeah.
The Islanders are at a disadvantage right now due to the fact that everybody around them got better. But I made it a point last year when Vegas was going on this tear.
Right. Yeah. I know exactly where you're going with this. Go ahead.
They traded for Thomas Tatar, so they sent whatever to the Detroit Red Wings. And by the way, rest in peace to Ted Lindsay, one of the heart and soul of the Detroit Red Wings years with Gordie Howe. So rest in peace, wonderful hockey player, one of the top 100 hockey players of all time. So he will be greatly missed. When they traded for Thomas Tatar, which ended up helping them get to the finals, hated the move because I thought if you messed with chemistry, it's going to hurt you. It ended up not hurting them. So if I'm the Islanders right now, I'm looking at Vegas of last year saying, what did they do? William Karlsson was the best player on that team, 71 points last year. They traded for people that can help them. You needed to get somebody that could help you. Who's that guy that can help you now? You don't have that goal scorer. Do you call up one of the kids? Do you call up Dal Cole? Do you call up Ho-Sang? What do you do now? I mean, there's no room to put him.
And on top of that, like you said, you've foregone this trade deadline. You did not bring in any guns, and there is no cavalry coming. There is no people coming to help. You're kind of stuck with. The Islanders are gonna lie in the bed they made, and the bed they made. By the way, this is a playoff team we're talking about. They're gonna go into the playoffs. The question is, do they compete? And right now,
I think they do.
I am of the opinion that if they wind up in a series with a Montreal, with a Columbus, with albeit if somehow the Penguins wind up Boston,
Tampa Bay.
I don't see them matching up against any one of these teams. I think it's a 5-game series and it's done.
See, now I'm at the point where you were last year,
right?
With the Devils.
With the Devils, yeah.
You didn't expect to be there, but as soon as you get there, house money, you want to win. They're playing with house money right now. Their top line is free agents: Anders Lee, Brock Nelson, and Jordan Eberle. All right? So that's all the house money right there. You still got Barzal. You still got Beauvillier. You still got Ryan Pollock. You have all the Devon Taves. You got all these young guys. You got Ho-Sang in the minors. You got Dal Cole in the minors. You got Bellows in the minors. You got Dobson, Wallstrom in Team USA development. You're playing with house money right now. And can you imagine, looking back on it, because this team's good. All right? This Islander team is good right now. But what if this is just a right now thing? What if you're not going all in? What if this doesn't happen next year? Granted, yes, I'm looking too far into it because Panarin's going to be a free agent. Duchesne's going to be a free agent. July 1st was basically the date that a lot of Islander fans had marked down because a lot of them, they wanted to get Duchesne, they wanted to get Panarin, but for the right price.
And on top of that, they wanted to retain John Tavares, but look how that turned out.
Yeah, so July 1st is going to be bittersweet for the Islanders in recent memory, specifically for the fans. But if you get a Panarin, if you get a Duchesne, it's going to help you more so than trading for them then because you didn't give up assets.
I hear that.
I was just going to say, when you watch the Islanders play lately, do they look tired, or do they just look like it was they're kind of having they're starting to get the feel like the target on their backs now? Like, all right, now they.
No, the target is definitely not on their back. I would go on the realm of saying they're probably tired, even though I don't think that's it. But out of those two that you mentioned, they seem very tired. But Trotz is the guy that I trust, honestly, and I trust Lou also. Just this year, kind of depends on how you score it. You didn't expect them to be there, so next year maybe it's the true test, depending on what side you're on. It sucks that they didn't get anybody, at the trade deadline, but you have to see where this team takes you. Basically, if you're on the side of ride the wave, ride the wave. If you're not, then I can't convince you.
I think that's a great point to make. Oh, God, I wish Eleanor was here. That way we could get a little bit more hockey in today. We'll try to do our best to fill it, but Listen, we're going to come back with a little more. Hey, what did Sean Avery say about Islander fans' treatment of John Tavares over the weekend?
This guy.
Well, let's give you a little taste.
You don't want to hear me talk about hockey? Then hit mute. New York Islander fan.
Well,
This guy, yeah.
We're going to get that full soundbite. It came out on Twitter a few days ago. We're going to break it down. We're going to talk about
now?
it.
Being a fan?
Apparently. Don't go anywhere. It's Nick, it's Eric, it's Dan, it's Ross, and you on WHPC Sports Talk on the voice of Nassau Community College, 90.3 WHPC.
Come on, everybody. Let's sing along with Spruce.
Join me, Kim Tracy, for the music of Bruce Springsteen and the E Street Band on Thunder Road, Sundays at 1 p.m. on the voice of Nassau Community College, 90.3 WHPC, and on the iHeartRadio app.
You gotta keep them separated.
Gotta keep them separated. And we're back.
What was that?
That was horrible.
Dan.
You gotta keep
what that was.
Dan, that was you. That was you. That was terrible.
I usually blame things for these things. Hey, welcome. He's got to do that every time. We're back. Nick Ohrnberger here with you alongside Eric Fischetti, who you can follow on Twitter at Sergeant Fish and on Instagram at Fish5710.
Very good. Very good.
Now I'm reading it off of paper now because it just helps me to do it. Daniel Morales, who you can follow on Twitter, on Instagram at DanielMolo_.
You know who it is.
Attaboy.
Nice
you know
pause,
who it is.
Dan.
Yeah, he really wanted to. We're not gonna. She's not here today, but I want you to follow Eleanor Chompy. You can follow her on Twitter
Chompy.
at Ellie Hockey Maven. That's ELLE Hockey Maven on Twitter, and at Eleanor_Chompy
Our
on
resident
Instagram.
Penguins fan.
Our resident Penguins fan and Hockey Update Sports analyst. You know, I really wanted to do this today because I made a new segment. Eleanor, if you're listening, I made it for you. This is what she was gonna walk into today. Hockey. Yes! And now,
Let's do that hockey.
Somebody's got to hire you. Somebody has to hire you.
let's do that hockey. I made that specific for Eleanor Chompy. We're going to do the hockey chomp anytime she's here. So always stay tuned for Eleanor. She'll be a regular on this program, obviously. Already a regular on Eric's program on Friday. Speaking of which, 3 to 4 p.m. on Fridays. Make sure you listen to that. And Ross Levine. Ross, do we have social media yet?
Yeah, I have a Twitter account now.
Very good. What is it?
And what's the Twitter account?
I have a number. You
just have a number?
I had a piece of paper.
Is it?
My dad had it.
Was it user like 972?
Was it Ross?
Something like that.
Was it Ross _Levine?
Ross Levine. It was like 123 at.
We don't want you to struggle.
Wait, that's your email.
That's your email. Well, now we know how to contact Ross.
Yeah. Thank you.
Well, Ross,
You're a funny
thank you
guy,
for that.
you know
You're
that.
a very funny guy.
Thank you.
We appreciate you. Having said that,
Thanks.
let's get right into
Very
what.
interesting.
Let's get right into
Thank you.
what we teased you with. Sean Avery, everybody. He's joining us today, whether electronically or in time travel.
I'll just leave the room because I'm mad.
Don't be mad. Here it is, Sean Avery, everybody.
You don't want to hear me talk about hockey? Then hit mute. New York Islander fans calling John Tavares a snake, throwing snakes on the ice. Who the are they kidding? That guy played 10 years in that dump with those fans. Didn't say a word. Was a great captain. Never got arrested. Didn't say boo. You losers want to ruin his night coming back to play for you guys. What was he supposed
Eric
to do?
is boiling.
Lie during the season? Or was he supposed to give the answer that all athletes give when they know they're not coming back to a team? You greasy Islander. You guys get out cheered in your own barn by Ranger fans every time the Rangers play the Islanders in Long Island. You.
May I?
Wow.
Eric Fischetti, you have the floor.
Who the hell are you talking to, you stupid idiot? Do you understand why we booed him? Okay, Sean, let me just talk to you really quick. You're a fan favorite by a lot of the Rangers, honestly. You were number 16. A lot of people liked you. I saw your video. You look like you're a freaking Batman villain today. What is the matter with you today? I mean, I don't even know what to say right now. Okay, first off, no, that's not true. Islander fans are more superior than Ranger fans because we kick your ass! All right? Because they can actually beat you at the Garden, at the Coliseum, or, your favorite words, Barclays Center. You can't win at Barclays Center either. I don't want to hear this clown shoe garbage, thank you, Don LaGreca, that, first off, calling him a snake, there's a reason why people called him a snake. He's a liar. Oh, there's no place I'd rather be. I only want to stay on Long Island. Don't count on me signing with Toronto. What happened then? He signed with Toronto. This is the crap that gets me so mad. Everything gets misconstrued by everybody that's in the hockey community. Islander fans are classless. Really? I remember Maple Leafs fans that sent death threats to James Reimer. I remember when you threw hot dogs in a Phil Kessel jersey when Kessel returned to Toronto with Pittsburgh. Jeez. And the one time we boo him, I'm sorry, did you hear of guys like Travis Hamonic? Did you hear of guys like Kyle Okposo, like Matt Martin, like Franz Nielsen? Did you hear of those guys? Did we boo him? No, there's a reason for that. It's because he's a dirty freaking liar. I'm good. I'm sweating. Please turn on the air.
My man's sweating. He's red like a tomato.
Eric Fischetti destroying Sean Avery on his comments of... Yeah, he deserves one. Eric Fischetti, everybody. Exhausted.
And by the way, don't talk about our dump. That's our dump, all right? Nassau Coliseum is our dump.
His barn. His barn that he's in. Oh, my gosh. I can't believe that.
Thank you for recording me.
You're welcome. I had to because that
Please
was...
turn on the air. I'm sweating right now.
Yeah, let's turn on the air conditioner because it's getting hot in here. I wish I had. I wish I had that.
And you know what? I'm friends with a lot of Ranger fans. I really am. And they're smart people. Ranger fans are smart people. Sean Avery didn't do anything. He was a goon.
Apparently, Devils fans are not smart people because I can't turn on this air conditioner.
I got it.
Oh, no, it's on. It's on.
Very good.
Nope, it's off again.
I have the same one in my house. You guys are just doing
you're not bad.
I got it. We're good. Look. Eric,
I don't get it. Why does everyone have to bring up John Tavares again? Now he's irrelevant. He's a Maple Leaf. It's whatever. The build-up was to February 28th at the Coliseum. He is a loser. He didn't win anything. He's a jerk. I don't think he won anything. Okay. So kind of kill me on that if he did. Whatever. Either way, he didn't win anything with the Rangers.
You know where you can follow
better.
him.
That's better. But I mean, come on, man. It's everyone else that is bringing up John Tavares. It's everybody else. Nobody. It's like
no one from New York cares.
No, that's not true. They did before the 28th of February, but it's like, why is everybody else? Literally, you know that meme that's going around, nobody, and then Maple Leafs fans like, John Tavares is a Leaf. All right, calm down. We know. 7 years they committed to you. He'll get traded. Watch. If they don't win a Stanley Cup in the years that he's there, that signing's a failure, by the way.
We need to segment this whole block off. I'm going to today as one of Eric's, I would say, one of his first official tirades.
I hate yelling.
And we're going to put on a tirade counter for Eric. How many weeks he'll go without ding, ding, ding.
I honestly hate doing that, but that's the garbage that gets me mad.
No, I understand.
It gets misconstrued.
Eric, your face is red as a tomato.
I know,
He's
Dan.
so upset.
I know. I can feel it right now. I can feel my
sweat
face
dripping down his forehead. It was horrible. I'm across the room. I can feel his heat.
Dan, my hands are clammy right now. I don't like it. This is the stuff that gets me mad because.
And I'm in a sweatshirt and a hood, and I'm not even that warm.
I didn't even wear a sweatshirt. Now I wish.
Know.
Oh my God! But
if you're just joining us,
it's not that he left; it's how he left.
If you're just joining us,
he's still
going. He's still going.
If you're just joining us, we're talking about the Sean Avery incident here on Twitter. Obviously,
you're listening to Eric Fischetti's tirade.
Yeah, he came out against the Isles on Twitter. Islander fans specifically called them out, and you're listening to WHPC Sports Talk.
Well, he's a bum, so I didn't even hear about it. So
on the voice of Nassau Community College, 90.3 WHPC. Call us, 516-572-7440, 516-572-7440. Eric, you okay?
You know who it is.
No.
So here's what we're going to do. because we got other things to get to, and I do want to get off to the rest of the national news. Why don't we take one more break real quick right here?
Yeah, please let me breathe.
And let Eric is beat red at the moment. I wish you people out there listening could hear this. Before we do so,
see this.
Let me just tell you.
This is garbage. Not all Islander fans are bad. They're very smart.
The Islander fans throwing snakes. Look, I agree with him in one sense.
I loved it.
The fans throwing snakes and jerseys at him walking off the ice are deplorable. They shouldn't be allowed back in that Coliseum.
Believe it or not, there are believe it or not, every fan base has jerks. Believe it or not, the Devils fans have jerks. The Islander fans have jerks. The Ranger fans have jerks.
No,
that doesn't.
I've been in worse fan environments than the Nassau Coliseum. I went to Philadelphia to go to a Phillies game. I was in
That's even worse.
I was dressed in all Mets. I was getting screamed at by. I was 11 years old. I was getting screamed at by drunk adults. The profanity. My mom was not happy. I remember this. We were getting yelled at walking into the stadium by drunk guys tailgating.
You know what?
Because we were blue and a sea of red, like a bright blue and orange.
Dan,
like these colors right here. Like it was really bad.
Dan, when I was 10 years old, I was at Boston and I was wearing a Yankee shirt and I got a beer bottle thrown at me.
What?
So yeah. That happened.
Listen,
nothing got thrown at me, but I wouldn't be surprised if it did. And we're a holiday pitch.
They were drunk, so they missed.
Call up 516-572-7440. Tell us who your least favorite fans are. We can even discuss that a little after the break. You'll listen to Sports Talk on the Voice of Nassau Community College. Listen, when we get back, we're going to do a little more national headlines. We're definitely going to talk Combine today.
Is this the day where I have a heart attack?
I don't. Yeah, apparently your blood. I could not imagine what your blood pressure is right now.
Sean Avery is just a. Stop it.
I agree with you. He's a goon, but what are you going to do? Listen,
I didn't even hear his name until we did that. Honestly,
it's a fact.
We're off the rails, and we've tried. We really did try today. We're going to be right back. This is what I get for bringing Ranger Islander controversy into the show.
It's not even Ranger Islander controversy.
It's fan-based controversy.
It's Avery fan controversy on WHPC Sports Talk. It's Nick. It's Eric. It's Dan. It's Ross.
Yeah.
It's you. 90.3 WHPC.
Shake off the realities of the day, broaden your musical horizons, and embrace the diversity every Monday afternoon at 6 on Revelations. The show offers a potently unique collection of music with an emphasis on themes and rock rarities, an occasional tour de force of blues and soul, mixed with compelling sets of folk and folk rock. I'm Steve Kay, and I've got the perfect soundtrack for your drive home every Monday afternoon at 6 on Revelations, right here on the Voice of Nassau Community College, 90.3 WHPC.
Let's do it for America's sweethearts. The Amos
So, we don't have anybody to give the, by the way, welcome back to WHPC Sports Talk on the Voice of Nassau Community College, 90.3 WHPC. We're live and local on 90.3 FM, streaming live on the iHeartRadio app and www.nccradio.org every Tuesday from 5 to 6 with your host, Kyle McKay. Thursdays, 9 to 11 with your host, Chris Muldoon. Fridays, Eric. 3 to 4, your host, Eric, my good friend, Eric Fischetti. And of course,
my brother.
And of course, today and every Monday from 5 to 6, I'm your host, Nick Ohrnberger. And, we don't have, alongside me, Eric Fischetti, Ross Levine, Dan Morales. We don't have a America's Sweetheart to give you today because literally anybody in local New York news lost.
I guess you can consider the Mets America's Sweethearts right now. They hired Al Leiter.
Excuse me, in games that matter. Yeah, they did hire Al Leiter.
Nice.
Very good move.
I thought that was a great move. Yep. Eric is just calming down at the moment.
Yeah,
he sounds a little morose.
I still feel a little tension in the room.
So
no, it's not tense. I'm good. I hate myself.
So in lieu of
Ty Lue, former Cavs coach.
I'm gonna.
Eric,
I'm gonna give America's Sweetheart crown today to Syracuse. They beat Wake Forest.
Hey, there you go.
I guess that matters. We did.
Yay,
we did. Good for Q's.
Good for Boeheim.
Good for Q's. Yes. They need it. So we have a new segment to bring to your attention today, and I'm excited to bring it to you. Everybody, it's time for liftoff.
Roger, ignition engaged. Takeoff in T-minus 5, 4, 3,
It's David Bowie.
1.
It is The National Liftoff segment of our show where we give you all the sports headlines. So, Dan Morales, can you tell us what's going on nationally in sports?
Yes, I can, Nick. Big news out of Dallas. Cowboys franchise tag defensive end DeMarcus Lawrence. What do you guys think about that?
I think it's huge for the Cowboys, honestly. He was going to go to free agency. But this is also kind of a gamble, too. He said he wasn't going to play.
Yeah.
Yeah, he doesn't have to accept the tag.
He can just hold out.
He can just hold out for a contract.
I don't think it's good for him because I think the Cowboys are going to be a force to be reckoned with, and I'm saying that as a Giant fan, and it hurts me. But listen, the Cowboys are going to be a force. They might win the NFC East again.
If they get him back.
Yeah, but even then, I mean, like, everyone around them got worse.
Yeah, you're right. The Giants. Well, you can make the argument that the Giants still have time to improve, depending on. Nick Foles is out there. Depending on where he goes, if he becomes a Redskin,
Jaguar.
If he becomes a Jaguar, I think
that's Jaguar too. Well, that's what we're hearing. I'm sure we'll hear about that later from Dan. But
and you know who's getting shopped to the Redskins?
Who's that?
Josh Rosen.
Yeah, we heard. Wow. Now that's another one. That's interesting, and I'm glad you brought that up because here's what I got on that. I think that is a huge mistake. I think they should develop this kid. I still believe in Josh Rosen. I don't think it behooves them at all, Eric. I don't think it behooves them at all to give up on him, draft Kyler Murray or anybody. I think this is a mistake. I think they need to develop Josh Rosen.
I think so too, but like considering Josh Rosen, like what are you supposed to do? I mean, Cliff Kingsbury, who just became their head coach, Rosen isn't his guy, which is clear. But I would think that Rosen would be a hot commodity in terms of hey, I think he can work with somebody. But if he wants Kyler Murray, I think Rosen's gone.
Yeah, we'll see what happens.
After a video is collected by TMZ goes viral, San Francisco Giants owner Larry Baer having a public altercation with his wife. Mr. Baer decides to step away from the team indefinitely. What does this say about him? What do you think about the situation?
Was this on his own accord? Like, did he step away by himself?
Who knows? That's what they're saying.
That's saying he stepped away by himself, but that's just showing me that it's not okay. Like something happened. Like,
well, I mean,
well, what's considered a public altercation? Like yelling at them?
The video was him. Apparently,
video.
Okay. So the video, I watched the video. I wouldn't go far to say it wasn't the Kareem Hunt or the Ray Rice video. It was nothing like that. It was physical. He basically knocks her over trying to rip something out of her hands. Apparently she was trying to call the police on him or something like that. I don't remember exactly what they said in the story, so that might be incorrect. But I know that she was, and she started yelling, someone help, as he tries to rip whatever's in her hand. I believe it was her iPad or a book she was reading or something. And she falls to the ground, and he just kind of skulks around and looks like really mean look in his eyes. And it got caught on video. And he decides to step away. Now, are we going so far as to call this abuse? Domestic? It's definitely a domestic dispute.
It's a terrible look.
It's a terrible look. But
horrible look for the Giants.
But if you want to compare it to the other major domestic abuse stories in the national spotlight, it's not. It's like one of the better ones. I thought it's the correct word.
Better's a harsh word. I think you mean just the less serious one.
Less serious. Yeah, there you go. Thank you.
It's a horrible look.
It's a horrible look no matter what. But it's a better look than the other ones that you see in the news previously.
I agree.
No, yeah, 100%. But at least if he did this on his own accord, like if he was like, you know what, this is terrible, let me get out of the light for a little bit, without anybody telling him that, which I don't think we'll know.
Right.
Because, maybe the San Francisco Giants might say, oh, yeah, he did. Well, in reality, no, we have to tell him that. If he did this by himself, it'll make me seem like, okay, so he gets it. He gets what he did is wrong. Maybe he'll get help, which, a lot of players or anyone in the public eye doesn't do by themselves. People have to tell him to do it.
And I think it's good that he stepped away because it shows that owners are not...
they're not taking this lightly.
They're held to the same standards that the players are. Yep, and that's the important thing.
Definitely. On some more football news, Nick Foles is apparently close to signing a multi-year contract with the Jacksonville Jaguars. Guys, is this the right choice for the former Super Bowl MVP, or should he look for greener pastures everywhere? Are there any greener pastures?
I thought he was going to land in another spot in Florida, Miami.
I thought he was going to go to the Redskins.
The Dolphins would be interesting.
They have better talent on the offensive end. I mean, yeah, with Jacksonville, you got Fournette. Maybe Foles can help. But buyer beware on Nick Foles, because when he got out of the system in Philly the first time, he was terrible.
Yeah.
I love that song, by the way.
What, Space Oddity?
Space Oddity, just jamming out to it. Go ahead, sorry. Go.
No, but the thing is, just buyer beware on Nick Foles, because I feel like he could be a system guy, and if he gets out of Philadelphia, which it seems like he is, it could not be good, honestly.
I agree. Ross?
I've seen Foles play even when he was with the Philadelphia. I remember last year, actually, when Wentz was hurt. He played in the preseason, played in the start of the season, and he looked awful. So he's not a guy who's that consistent for 16 weeks.
Well, in fairness, the Eagles were terrible the first half of the year.
That's very fair.
That's true.
That's very fair. And obviously, Carson Wentz had, I don't see what other people see in the Eagles' offensive roster. Alshon Jeffries, I get it, a reception machine. But in big-time moments, he's dropping balls. Carson Wentz did what he could when he's actually on the field. But I don't know. Nick Foles is you know what, Ross? He's a albatross to me. Is he the Super Bowl MVP we saw, or is he the guy we saw the rest of his career, which has been underwhelming?
So with St. Louis, with Kansas City,
with the Eagles before he left originally. And listen, I had a taste of Nick Foles. I watched him. He played like 3 games, but I watched him.
Still a taste.
Anyway, what else we got? I think this is the last one, right?
All right, yeah, the last news we got for today for national news. Antonio Brown is not taking any responsibility for the split between he and the Steelers organizations. Guys, do not focus on what I just said. Focus on this.
The 9th year, like what happened?
Yeah. Well, football a game as a player where you have to, sometimes things are bigger than just my issues. If me and you are part of a team, our issues, it can't affect the common cause of winning. So some of that stuff, I could put my pride or anything to the side in regards of the big grand scheme of things. The big grand scheme of things for us to win. What's important to you? What do you stand for? Who are you? It just, year 9 is just, if you work for me for 9 years, wouldn't you expect you to know my girlfriend's name or my dad's name or my kid, or would you expect me to meet your kid or at least know you on the level of some sort of integrity to know, like, hey man, I appreciate what you do, any condolence, or, you know what I mean?
Mm-hmm. So when you reference an organization that hasn't taken the time out to meet your family, to come around, to understand who you are, who are you talking about there?
I mean the owner, you know what I mean? Guys who work in the organization, the coaches,
Yeah, definitely. And one thing I got from that is that he does. I see the point is where he's coming like, oh, how no one knows his mom, his daughter, his wife. It's because if you watch other teams, like I watched All or Nothing, that's on Amazon, and like you watch the Arizona Cardinals, the Rams, they have the players and some of the coaches, they have and when they're in training camp and when they're in the season, they have they come over to each other's houses, they have families hang out with each other. They're very interactive.
It's very close.
It's very close, and that's saying he does not have that in the Steelers organization, which I understand could be a problem because when you're a team, you're a family. And you're a family, and if you're good, and the good players, it should have been Le'Veon Bell, Ben Roethlisberger, Juju, and Antonio Brown. Those 4 should have been families should have been connected, so they have better feel for each other, better chemistry with each other, so they become good friends. You know what I'm talking about?
But it's not their job.
It's not their job, but it's to make the team chemistry better.
No,
because you all live in the same area, right? You all have to live in the same area. So why don't I'm not saying like a Saturday night barbecue or something. You know what I'm talking about? Something
that would be cool though. But Pittsburgh is so.
I know I'm talking about in the summer.
No. I know that. But let's just talk about Pittsburgh because that's basically what's going on now.
Yeah.
Pittsburgh is such a close knit town. Every sport, every team in that city is black and gold. If you even think about it, because it's the Steel City, Steel's gold, and whatever. But everybody in that city is so close together. Everybody's a Steeler fan. Everybody's a Penguins fan. If you like hockey, everybody's a Pirates fan.
Yep.
It's so. I get what he's saying, and I get what you're saying. But I'm on the fence about it. It's not their job to get to know them, but it would be good to do. I totally get it.
I'm not saying when you first start Antonio Brown, Ben Roethlisberger, they've been together for how many years?
I think almost 10.
That's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying. It's not it was just a 3-year thing. It's been 10 years. You know what I'm talking about?
Yeah, but
when they're there for longevity, I think they should.
But if that's the case,
because they know, we're going to be here for a while. we should build a chemistry with each other.
Yeah, but Dan, if that's the case, I think you would agree it's a two-way street.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's definitely a two-way street. It can't be just one way.
Exactly.
And if other people are not willing to do that, then that's their choice, and they have to respect it. But sometimes it could hurt the chemistry because you could make it better in some ways. You know what I'm talking about? Like,
no, I totally
not just
get
on
it.
the field, on and off the field, better chemistry.
Okay, hold on a second. Because there's one thing I noticed in that whole thing, and I agree with both of you. There are some good points on both sides here, and I hate to be the mediator, and I hate to be the guy calling him out directly. This is a dude, and I'm glad we played that clip.
He's a prima donna, though.
Because, first of all, we all know what he said. I don't feel like I have any blame in this. That was the main quote. We played this clip for you to listen to because this dude just said, verbatim, if I played for you for 9 seasons, wouldn't you expect me to know your family? Wouldn't you expect to know mine? Now I'm paraphrasing, but you get the gist. When he's asked, well, who's the culprit of this, essentially, paraphrasing again for the reporter, he goes, the owner.
So Rooney.
So why didn't he say Rooney? It just gives me the feeling that he didn't realize who the owner is. Maybe he never took the time to know their family.
It almost sounds like he's a hypocrite, is what you're saying.
Exactly. Art Rooney II, that's the owner. That's the team president right now. That's the guy you're talking about. So say his name. If you're going to come out and make a statement that bold about not knowing who people are.
In the public frame.
In the public frame. Why wouldn't you say Art Rooney? Like, what are you doing? Ross, what do you got?
I was just saying, doesn't this, I think, all just tell everybody that Antonio Brown just needs to change the scenery?
I agree.
I think he just needs to leave.
But doesn't this blame game need to stop on somebody? Or doesn't it need to stop in general? Why is he still taking interviews, talking about this stuff, when he could just be shut up?
I think this was his first really major. But talking in detail about this topic.
I know, and it was his first big, and he clearly wasn't prepared, in my opinion. And as honest as I do believe
but if
thinks
you did watch,
being.
They took it throughout his hometown in the beginning. You watched it.
I watched it, yes, I did.
So it wasn't just about that. It was mainly...
And there's a lot of interesting stuff in there. Watch it, by the way.
It's was it 30 for 30 or was it ESPN special?
It was an ESPN special.
And it went through his childhood, went through where he grew up and where he played football. It was really interesting to watch.
Said he was grazed by a bullet growing up. And he wouldn't talk about that too much. Yeah, apparently violence in the area he grew up. What did he say? Kept on saying Liberty City.
I forgot. I don't know. Oh my God.
I don't know where that is.
I forgot.
I honestly don't know where that is. But I mean, you know, it is frustrating. It's got to be frustrating. Do you guys think this makes Ben and the head coach Mike Tomlin? Do you think this makes them look bad, or are they saying, "Wow, this guy just made himself look worse. We're in the clear"?
I think if anything, it makes Brown look worse because Ben Roethlisberger's no saint either. But you know, the fact that you didn't really hear his name that much, you know.
Oh no, he talked about Ben.
What?
He talked about Ben.
I know, but like Ben Roethlisberger didn't really come out much in terms of the situation. Besides, this is a group of guys, I'm talking about the Steelers, that when Le'Veon Bell was holding out, they raided his locker. Now, I don't know. I'm just speculating here. I don't know if that's a common thing amongst NFL locker rooms. But due to the fact that was in the public eye, that just gives me a bad look, you know, going into the Steelers locker room. Like, wow, they don't care about him, but they care about his stuff, kind of. It's weird. It's an odd situation.
The Patriots had it is the only thing I can tell you. I know that the Cardinals had it. I'm pretty sure San Diego definitely had it, and even when they were still in San Diego. I mean, there are teams that do these kind of family-oriented deals here. If that was a main focal point for him leaving, why wouldn't he say something? Why wouldn't he have conversations? Why wouldn't he go to somebody and say, like, get to know me, you know? What's up?
Go ahead.
Oh, that's me. Oh,
Ross, just jump in anytime you want. You don't have to always. Yeah, go ahead.
I was just gonna say they also had the same issue with the Steelers locker room with James Conner, because they were saying with Bell, you know, they were saying, oh, Bell's better and everything. He does this great. He does this great. He does this great. And Conner was being really good, and like even opponent teams were saying like, oh, he's really good, but it seemed like other teams with even like Conner, who's a great running back, more appreciation than his actual players. So that's kind of weird also a little bit.
Yeah, I agree. It's definitely
strange.
It's strange. This whole thing just breathes strangeness to me. I don't really know what to make about any of it, to be perfectly honest. But it's definitely something I thought worth bringing up because it's an interesting topic. Why did this get so fractured? I don't think we learned any more from Antonio Brown's deal there. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I get it, but this is just coming back to the guy that Antonio Brown is what's the word I'm looking for? Because he is a prima donna.
He's a diva.
He's a diva. Thank you. But that.
No problem.
But yeah, thanks. But that gets me annoyed too because everybody says that Odell Beckham Jr. is a diva, but this guy's worse.
Right.
No, this guy's definitely worse. They made it so big about Odell Beckham, but. And Antonio Brown blew that out of the water. Antonio blew him out of the water.
There is no doubt about it. And even Julio Jones did at some points when he had a massive contract and then was being a baby about it to try and get more after he signed it.
All right.
That's on the lower scale.
Well, that's all we got right there. We're going to come back with a little more local stuff, Yankees, Mets, whatever you want to talk about, 516-572-7440. And we're going to talk a little combine, too. But first,
WHPC Sports. Monday. Must watch.
Watch me!
Nice.
Don't believe me, just watch.
Eric Fischetti, what's going on tonight? What should we be watching?
Well, Nick, I am so happy that you asked. Being that, nothing's going on until 10 o'clock tonight. The Knicks and the Kings are in Sacramento tonight and also in the NBA. A very, very intriguing matchup. The Dallas Mavericks come to town to face the Brooklyn Nets. A battle. For sure, a playoff team with Brooklyn, but maybe, a really good team in the Dallas Mavericks. And an inner-city rivalry with the LA Lakers and the LA Clippers tonight on NBA TV. That's going to be fun. Lakers are in their tailspin, so we'll see what happens there. And along in the NBA as well, Tank Watch, Zion Watch. Woo! The Bucks and the Suns tonight. The Suns are terrible. The Bucks are
just beat
good.
the Lakers.
Just beat the Lakers.
But who's not these days?
Yeah, exactly. And of course, also in the NBA, the Denver Nuggets and the San Antonio Spurs. A battle of really, really good teams. Denver, really. Oh man,
that's the biggest game tonight. Definitely.
They are definitely fun to watch. In hockey, your Toronto Maple Leafs and the Calgary Flames. 9 o'clock, so you can see that. Look, the Flames and the Leafs are really good.
The Leafs are not my team, God.
Definitely not. But for me, personally, it doesn't matter to me. I'm not going to be able to watch them. Your St. Louis Blues and Anaheim Ducks.
Yes!
Puck drop at 7 o'clock our time, but it doesn't matter to me because I can't watch them anyway. But the Ducks are terrible.
Thank you, Eric Fischetti. Coming up, we got a phone call to get to. And we're going to give you a little bit of combine, little Yankees, little Mets, little Knicks, whatever you want to talk about. Call up 516-572-7440 and talk to us. We love you, so give us some love back. And you're listening to WHPC Sports Talk, 90.3 WHPC.
Hi, folks. I'm Mel Tillis, and you ain't gonna believe this.
Hi, this is Wanda Jackson. Hi, this is Loretta Lynn.
Hi, neighbor. This is Charlie Leuven. Hi, everybody. This is Bobby Bear. Hello, everybody. This is Ronnie Millsap.
Hello, friends. This is Mike Wiseman.
Hi, this is Lynn Anderson.
Hello, friends. This is Jim Ed Brown.
Hi, friend. This is Charlie Pride.
Hi, folks. This is Ricky Skaggs.
And this is Michael Anthony. Join me and my legendary friends as we travel down Old Country Road that Sunday evenings from 8 to 10. We'll pick you up at the next corner. Why don't you join us as we head down Old Country Road for miles and miles and miles, right here on 90.3 WHPC, the voice of Nassau Community College.
That's all we do here. We testify about sports and everything else going on. It's WHPC Sports Talk. We're back. Nick, Ross, Dan, Eric, we're here for you. And we got a caller on the line. Caller, you're on WHPC Sports Talk. What's up?
I hope you're not pressed for time.
A little bit, but go ahead. Dave, we got time for you always.
I'll talk faster.
No, you're fine. You're good.
A little faster.
And Eric, as far as the question
what's up, Dave?
As far as that question I sent you yesterday, what's more important, the cap space for the Jets, or the fact that one-third of the team is unrestricted free agents?
Well, I'm going to tell you what I actually wrote down. Obviously, the Jets have a lot of room to work with in terms of the cap space. You would expect them to go after the big fish, like a Le'Veon Bell. Who knows? They could be in a trade for Antonio Brown. But There's like a couple other names that you mentioned, Tevin Coleman, the running back from the Falcons. You have to work with what you have, yes, and due to the fact that they have a lot of money, they still need to be cost conscious because you can't give guys like 5-year contracts that don't deserve it. That's why the Quincy Enunwa extension got a little controversy in terms of like, do you give it to him, do you not give it to him? So yeah, of course the Jets need to be self-conscious in that in terms of the money, but listen, if they have the money to spend, you got to spend it, but it just depends on who you're giving it to.
Yeah, I'm just saying, do you think McCagnon's the man to make a determination on unrestricted free agents versus who he could pick up in the draft?
I mean,
well, it's
we're going to find out is the answer to that. We're going to find out. This is his draft to prove it.
You sound like a Giant fan, with Eli. So,
yeah, right.
We'll find out stuff like that.
And you know what's funny about that, Dave? I wasn't the one that said that.
Again, I roll with the punches. And you know what's funny? You know what's funny now? In the afternoon, they used to do the replays of the Knick game from the night before. It's been replaced by poker.
Yeah, is that really true?
Absolutely.
Oh my God!
That's how the mighty have fallen.
Is that more exciting?
I think so.
I think they play at the same pace.
Love it. I love it, Dave.
Dave from Franklin Square, always good for one of those. Thank you so much for the call, Dave. We do have to let you go. We appreciate it as always. That was a great one.
Just to bring into his point, one of the signings that McCagnon did was Trumaine Johnson, the cornerback from the LA Rams. He's not panning out right now. Yeah, it's only a year. You got to see how he rebounds this year. But that just goes into the point. You can throw money at people, but it just depends on who's it going to and the production on the field. It's a very tough call, but McCagnon is honestly running out of time.
Ross, real quick, what you got?
I was just going to say, I heard the Jets have little to no interest in Le'Veon Bell.
I think that's dumb.
I think that's silly. I think they should have interest. It has to be for the right price, though. If you're the Jets, for Le'Veon, he should be going for top dollar. It's what you've been doing this so far. So get your paper, boo boo. That's as they say.
Definitely. Yeah.
I think that was a Cat Williams thing. I just ripped off. All right, let's get to the Combine. Right, I want to hear Combine. Dan, what do we need to know? Who are the winners? Who are the losers? Tell me.
All right, so we got a few winners here. We got running back Justice Hill, running back from Oklahoma State, with 21 reps at bench press, 4.40, 40 vertical jump, and broad jump at 10.10. He shined out in the Combine. And then we have 3 top performers for wide receiver. My fault. DK Metcalf, 27 reps.
My God.
4.33, 40.5 vertical jump, 11.2 broad jump at 6'3". Paris Campbell from Ohio State, 11.3 broad jump, 4.3 140, and a 40 vertical jump. And Miles Boykin from Notre Dame, 11.8 broad jump, 40-yard dash is a 4.42 seconds, and a 43.3 vertical jump. Those are and one of my top favorites was the defensive lineman Montez Sweat with 21 runs for bench press and breaking the record for a 40-yard dash for defensive lineman for a 4.41 and a broad jump of 10.5. And my personal favorite, the Rich Eisen ran a 6.0 for today's 40-yard dash.
Dan, I want to ask you a question before you go on. Mm-hmm. How much focus do you actually put into the Combine?
So glad you asked.
Because Dave Gettleman, your general manager of the New York Giants, he's basically calling it the Underwear Olympics. Where do you stand?
I mean, I like to watch the Combine because these players,
because it's football, yeah.
No, and some of these players, if these players don't work out, there's not going to be no more future of football. So some of these players are going to have to shine out. They're going to be, some of them are going to, or might be, like 1 or 2 might be the most future NFL players. So it's always fun to watch to see who lands where, see who does what in the Combine, see how they do on their pro days, see how much different, how much work they put in. That's what I like about the Combine, and see where my team and who they're going to get.
All right. Well, guys, I think we've exhausted about all we can. You know what it is. It's time for the 2-minute drill. As I see Steve K getting ready in the studio, and he's going to bring you all the revelations of music that you need. And we didn't play that sounder today. Whoopsie. Anyway, we're gonna hand over the reins to him. Don't tune out. 6 o'clock to 7 o'clock. Steve K, one of the best shows on this station. We love him. We love him like a brother. He'll be in here in just a moment. Eric, what's your 2-minute drill topic?
Well, first off, I hate when the Knicks lose. Let's just get that out of the way. Yes, I want Zion. Yes, I want this franchise to be good. And if the only way is losing to get better in the future, it's a tough pill to swallow, but I'm going to have to roll with it. But I'm looking for a competitive game tonight from the Knicks against the Kings. Kings a potential playoff contender. And I just want to see development. That's mainly the main thing that I want to see.
Totally disagree. I hate it all the way. Ross, what do you got?
Dave Gettleman confirms Eli Manning's the starting quarterback for next year. And also the Brooklyn Nets have fallen under 500 and dropped to the 7th seed.
Let's rub that right in their face. Daniel Morales, what do we have, my good friend?
The Houston Texans franchise tag outside linebacker Jadeveon Clowney.
Ooh, that is huge, actually.
That's really big.
I don't know how we missed that, but we did miss it.
Dan didn't miss it.
Thanks,
Dan, that's what we keep you here for, my friend.
I know,
Steve K walking in the building.
Steve K in the building.
Raiders.
Revelations is coming up next. My 2-minute drill topic is going to be simple. The scouting combine, the NFL combine, whatever you want to call it, is just a giant money grab for sponsorships and TV money. I'm sorry. You're wasting your time watching this crap. These teams already know who they're picking. They really do. It's more about the interviews than it is the actual workouts.
Nick, I have 2 franchise tags that we haven't talked about today.
Give me 2 quick.
Okay, Seattle franchise tag on defensive end Frank Clark and the Atlanta Falcons franchise tag defensive tackle J.D. Garrett.
Oh, all right.
Garrett.
Ho-hum. But having said that...
Sorry, I didn't...
No, it's fine. Honestly, I not ho-hum. Those are very important things you just said, whatever they were. Now, I think I speak for every...
You said it fast, and I said it fast.
You did say it fast. So fast, a world record. They should have put that in the combine. Well, I think I speak for everybody in the broadcast booth when I say... Oh, wow! What a great broadcast. But it's time to say... See ya! Because we are... But don't worry, even though we're... God! You'll still get plenty of sports next week. Same bat time, same bat channel. Good night, everybody. Thank you for coming. Be sure to tip your waitress and try the chicken. This is Nick Ohrnberger alongside Eric Fischetti, Ross Levine, and Dan Morales signing out for now.
See you later.
We'll see you next week.
Bye. Hope you find your dad.